The Nokia N95 is a smartphone produced by Nokia as part of the Nseries line of portable devices. It was released in March 2007. The N95 runs on S63rd edition, on Symbian OS v9.2. The phone has a two-way sliding mechanism, which can be used to access either media playback buttons or a numeric keypad. It was first released in silver and later on in black, with limited edition quantities in gold and purple. The launch price of the N95 was around $550. Its capabilities include a global positioning system receiver with maps and optional turn-by-turn navigation, a 5-megapixel digital camera with Carl Zeiss optics, flash, video recording and video conferencing, wireless connectivity via HSDPA, IRDAR, 802.11x and Bluetooth. A portable media player with the ability to download podcasts over the air. And Fathom radio tuner. Composite video output via included cable. Multitasking to allow several applications to run simultaneously. A web browser with support for HTML, JavaScript and Adobe Flash. Messaging via SMS, MMS and email. Office suite and organizer functions. And the ability to install and run third-party Java ME or Symbian mobile applications. It also supports GPRS, Edge, UMTS, and HSDPA, one of the first smartphones to support 3.5G. Since the introduction of the original N95-1, several updated versions have been released, most notably the N95 8GB with 8GB of internal storage, a larger display and improved battery. The N95 and its upgraded variant N95 8GB are widely considered as breakthrough technologies of its time and one of the greatest products to hit the market. It was well noted for its camera, music player, 3D graphics, mobile gaming, the innovative dual slider, its GPS and 3.5G capabilities as well as its lightweight for such device. On November 6, 2007, All About Symbian declared the N95 8GB as the best smartphone ever. On January 24, 2013, PC Magazine called the Nokia N95 as one of the best smartphones in history on any platform. History. The phone was unveiled on September 26, 2006 at the Nokia Open Studio 2006 event in New York City. Nokia called the N95 as the multimedia computer. It was released at the end of March 2007. On March 8, 2007 Nokia was shipping N95 in key European, Asian and Middle Eastern markets. It was on sale in many countries on the week of March 11. On April 7, 2007, the N95 went on sale in the United States through Nokia's flagship stores in New York and Chicago and through Nokia's Nseries.com website. No U.S. carriers were expected to offer this phone. The U.S. version started retailing without carrier branding or discounts in Nokia's flagship stores in New York and Chicago on September 26, 2007. On August 29, 2007, two updated versions of the N95 were announced at a press event in London. First, the N95-2, an updated version for the European-Asian markets with 8GB of internal storage and larger screen. Secondly, the N95-3, replacing the original 2100 MHz WCDMA air interface with support for the 850 MHz and 1900 MHz frequencies used for the 3G networks of most GSM-compatible mobile carriers in the Americas, including AT&T Mobility. Finally, later on January 7, 2008, Nokia introduced the N95-4, which is the US 8GB version of the N95-3. The phone got its FCC approval on January 30 and launched March 18. The first carrier to utilize this approval was Rogers Wireless in May 2009. The N95's main competitors during its lifetime were the LG Prada, Apple's iPhone and the Sony Ericsson W950i. The N95 managed to outsell its rivals. Despite Apple's much-hyped iPhone with its multi-touch technology, thin design and advanced web capabilities, the N95 had several key features against the iPhone, such as its camera with flash, video camera, Bluetooth file sharing, 3G and 3.5G connectivity, GPS, third-party applications and several other features. Even after the release of late Nseries phones, the N95's retail price was still around $400 as of early 2010 despite its 3-year-old age. Features: integrated GPS ability. The N95 contains an integrated GPS receiver which is located below the O key on the keypad. The phone ships with Nokia Maps navigation software. This phone is not yet on the list of smartphones that Nokia is giving a free lifetime of voice navigation for. Multimedia features. Out of the box, the N95 supports audio in MP3, WMA, Real Audio, SP MIDI, AAC+, EAAC+, MIDI, AMR and M4A formats. Its two-way slide, when open towards the keypad, allows access to its media playback buttons. A standard 3.5 ohm jack is located on the left side of the phone and allows the user to connect any standard headphones to the unit. Users can also use Bluetooth for audio output using A2DP, or use the built-in stereo speakers. The N95 is also capable of playing video in 3GP, MPEG-4, Real Video and in newer firmware, Flash video formats. All of the phone's video output can also be played through the TV Out feature. TV Out is a feature offered by the phone's OMAP processor, that allows users to connect the smartphone, using the supplied cable, to a TV or any other composite video input. Its main purpose is to allow users to show photos and videos on a large screen. The N95's built-in UPnP capabilities also allow the user to share the phone's media over a WLAN network. This provides easy access to the photos, music and videos stored on the phone, from other UPnP-capable devices on the network, enabling them to be watched or downloaded over the air. Internet. The N95 has built-in Wi-Fi, with which it can access the Internet. The N95 can also connect to the Internet through a carrier packet data network such as UMTS, HSDPA, or Edge. The WebKit-based browser displays full web pages as opposed to simplified pages as on most other phones. Web pages may be viewed in portrait or landscape mode and automatic zooming is supported. The N95 also has built-in Bluetooth and works with wireless earpieces that use Bluetooth 2.0 technology and for file transfer. It should be noted that the original N95 does not support US-based versions of UMTS HSDPA. UMTS features in these versions of the phone are disabled by default. Furthermore, the later N95 US versions support only AT&T's 851,900 MHz UMTS HSDPA bands, neither 1700 MHz of T-Mobile USA nor 2100 MHz bands are supported internationally. The phone can also act as a WAN access point allowing a tethered PC access to a carrier's packet data network. VoIP software and functionality is also included with the phone. Accelerometer. The N95 includes a built-in accelerometer. This was originally only used for video stabilization and photo orientation. Nokia Research Center has allowed an application interface directly to the accelerometer, allowing software to use the data from it. Nokia has released a step counter application to demonstrate this. Another Nokia-created application taking advantage of the accelerometer is Nokia Sports Tracker. Third-party programs have been created, including software that will automatically change the screen orientation when the phone is tilted, a program that simulates the sounds of a Star Wars lightsaber when the phone is waved through the air, a program allowing the user to mute the phone by turning it face down, etc. N-Gage. The N95 is compatible with the N-Gage mobile gaming service. Specification sheet, variations, N95 8GB. A revision of the N95, called N95 8GB, was announced on August 21, 2007, and put on market in October 2007. It was released in a black color, instead of silver like the N95-1. The changes compared to the regular version are: improvements, 8 GB separate internal memory, larger display to 2.8 inches. 128 MB RAM, 95 MB available. Demand paging, 1200 mAh battery, up from 950 mAh, cosmetic changes to media and front panel buttons, new model of hands-free remote control, AD54, new multimedia menu, with Nokia's OV content integration, built-in automatic screen rotation in software versions v20.0.016 onwards for the N95 8GB version and from v30.0.015 for N95-1, respectively. Black faceplate instead of the original silver. Sturdier battery cover. Negative changes, pixel density is 142 a dpi, compared to 153 a dpi for the N95. This is due to the larger display but with the same resolution, microSD slot removed, slider protecting camera lens removed to make room for the larger battery. The camera application is now started by holding down the shutter release button, removal of built-in video editor, mass, 128 AG, up 8 AG from 120 AG, and 95 NAM. The Nokia N95-3 is a revision of the N95. Internally designated as RM160, designed specifically for the North American market. It is also available in Australian and South American market. The following was changed from the original version, 128 MB RAM, up from 64 MB. WCDMA 850 and 1900 MHz, instead of 2100 MHz, 1200 mAh battery, up from 950 mAh. Talk time up to 190 minutes, up to 250 minutes. Slider protecting camera lens removed to make room for the larger battery. Camera flash moved to the vertical axis of the phone, so when the phone is used as a camera it sits to the side of the camera, instead of below as in the N95-1. Cosmetic changes to media buttons. Height, 2.05 cm, down from 2.10 cm. Mass, 125 AG, up from 120 AG. White keyboard light instead of blue for visibility improvement. Current firmware version v35.2.001, October 13, 2009, RM160, N95 8GB NAM. The main differences to the N95-2 are, camera lens is now more flush with the phone's face. Multimedia keys are less glossy. Users will have to upgrade to at least firmware version 31.2.007 to have automatic screen rotation supported. The latest firmware version issue has a Wi-Fi problem, resulting in being connected for only a few minutes before getting disconnected for seemingly no reason and then freezing locking up the phone. Both N95-3 and N95-4 have also some additional changes, such as the removal of the sliding lens cover for the camera, improved battery life, and doubling of runtime memory from 64 to 128 MB. N95 China, featuring the internal name RM245, the N95-5 is targeted at the Chinese market. The main difference from the regular N95 is the lack of any 3G connectivity support, which has not been yet adopted in China at the time of release, and the absence of WLAN connectivity, due to Chinese regulations. N95 8GB China, the N95-6, internally coded RM321 is a Chinese market-targeted version of the N95-2, lacking 3G and WLAN support just like the N95-5. Versions comparison. This table lists only the specifications that differ between versions of the N95 models. Ad slogans, English, it's what computers have become. Latvian language, Tagad datas is kata star. Russian language, th degree th 1 quarter n th 1 half th degree n th 3 quarters th 1 quarter th no n n th micron n euro. Serbian language, u angstrom to suse rola nalaptvarila. See also, Nokia Nseries, references. External links, Garmin NA 1 quarter by 2555 LMT, official Nokia N95 8GB technical specifications, official Nokia N95-3 North America technical specifications, official Nokia N95 product page, official Nokia N95 support page, official Nokia press release, Texas Instruments OMAP 2420, Nokia N95 8G at Wiki specs, geocaching with Nokia N95 and Geocake Navigator geocaching.com, OVI Maps 3.0 upgrade, XBMC remote for Nokia N95, free Nokia SIP VoIP application for a SIP. High compatibility, N95 accessible to the blind and visually impaired.